Next question is describe various types of RNA. Now we already know there are three main types of RNAs, mRNA, rRNA and tRNA. So in the first point we mentioned them, right? So various types of RNAs are, so the types of RNA are mRNA, rRNA and tRNA. Now what exactly is this RNA? It is a nucleic acid exactly like DNA. So obviously it's a polymer and it's a polymer made up of nucleotides. And what are nucleotides made up of? Nucleotides are made up of sugar, phosphate backbone, and projecting outward are nitrogen bases such as adenine, guanine, cytosine, and in DNA it was thymine, but in RNA it's going to be slightly different. It is uracil. So please remember this, in RNA the nitrogen base thymine is replaced with uracil. That is what we mentioned in the second point over here. So ribonucleic acid, which is RNA, is a nucleotide polymer. It's a long compound, it's a chain compound which is made up of ribose sugar, a phosphate and bases such as adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil instead of thymine. Now most of the RNA molecule is similar to that of DNA. Now there is one basic difference, that RNA has a hydroxyl group and OH group in it, which the DNA does not. Right? Hence the DNA is deoxyribose. It has one oxygen less from the ribose sugar, whereas over here the ribose present inside the RNA has that extra oxygen which attaches to hydrogen and forms the hydroxyl group. This is what we mentioned in the third point. The ribose sugar of RNA has a hydroxyl group and it is absent in the DNA. It is present in the RNA, absent in the DNA. Right? RNA has a structure very similar to DNA. So most of the structure is similar. This part over here is slightly different. In the next point we mention what are the different types. So first is the rRNA. Obviously it is called rRNA because it is the ribosomal RNA, because it is a component of the ribosome, and obviously because it is a component of the ribosome it helps the cell in protein synthesis, because that is the responsibility of the ribosomes itself. So it is a component of the ribosome organelle and helps in the protein synthesis. Next is mRNA, called as messenger RNA. So there is a reason we call it as the messenger RNA, because it carries the message of the DNA from the nucleus to the cytoplasm for protein synthesis. So we mentioned that mRNA, it carries information of protein synthesis from the genes which are present in the nucleus to ribosomes which are present in the cytoplasm. Finally, lastly we mentioned tRNA, which is the transfer RNA. Now whenever the message is brought from the nucleus to the cytoplasm in the ribosomes, ribosomes read the mRNA and try to decode this information. In the process of translation, they are trying to decode it and try to understand which codon corresponds with which amino acids. These amino acids are attached to the tRNA and the correct amino acid is brought by the correct tRNA. So that is exactly what is called as the transfer RNA, because it brings the amino acid and transfers it onto the ribosome, a very important function. So the tRNA, it carries amino acid up to the ribosome. So these are the different types of RNAs.